Hi, welcome to Sound Garage. This video is going to be kind of a carryover from last week's conversation that we had with the group on analog versus digital, and I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of show two sound samples. One is going to be going through all this is running through my my DAW of kick drum, and we're going to be showing the difference between a plug-in and the actual hardware unit to see if you can hear any differences. So without further ado, we'll get this thing started. All right. So in the DAW, so I'm running this thing through Studio One. These are a kick drum that I pulled from a song that I was working on, and the sound sample is exactly the same. So there should be no differences within the sounds. Everything was just copied over onto different tracks. There are multiple tracks, as you can see down here. So I have the just because I had basically a kick in and a kick out. So going into a kick bus, and then again for this other one right here. Here you can see that we're running two different samples. So this one right here, kick one, is going to be the 80B, the Trident 80B software, a plugin. And then on the kick two, you'll see it's going through Pipeline, and Pipeline is Studio One's version of basically how you get audio out to a analog gear and then back in. And on the analog side, I do have the Trident 80B 500 series rack gear that's set up. So first things first, obviously if you'd like to skip ahead to the audio, hopefully we'll be able to get the timestamps in there for you to jump ahead. But I'm not going to, whether or not you want to listen blindly or whatever, it's up to you. All right, so we'll get started here. So we'll start off with the kicks. Actually, first off, I'm going to take the insert out. So just this is the raw kick sound, so you understand it. All right, so that's the kick with no processing whatsoever. Now I'm going to basically jump between these two kicks, kick one and kick two, and we'll see which one it is that sounds best. All right, so as you can probably hear, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to say necessarily which one I think is better. I think that's up for everyone else to decide whether or not you can even hear a difference. A little bit more on the signal chain. So one thing I noticed when I was utilizing the analog and the plug-in version of the 80B, one of the things I noticed was that I actually seemed to get more range out of the, in terms of attenuation or boost, out of the 500 analog gear than what I was actually getting off of the actual plug-in. However, I was able to set everything up basically exactly the same, so all the same values here are mirrored in the actual 500 series hardware. The only other plug-in here that I'll go over real quick is I just have a limiter on the mix bus. That's just to kind of keep the levels in check, so that didn't really contribute to any of the sounds. So again, we will go through, and this time I'm going to throw up the Hawkeye, which is kind of a kind of allows you to see the spectrum and everything that's kind of going on with the if you're more by eye. So here we go again. All right. So hopefully found this this video informative. Hopefully you got something out of it. I think the question, I guess now we'll go into a little bit of personal philosophy here. I think the question of whether or not analog or digital is better, I think the answer is neither is better or worse. I think they both have their uses and they both have their places within modern music. I think to be able to write music these days, you have to be able to embrace both the sounds of the analog gear as well as the digital gear. And if you can bridge that divide and break down those walls of saying it's got to be analog or it's got to be digital, I think your musical palette is much broader in that sense. So if you like the video, please hit like and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in.